Gentlemen, boys and girls, hustlers, makers, and content creators, welcome to the only live stream on planet Earth dedicated to mobile content creators and mobile YouTubers. My name is Nimmin, and today I'm answering your mobile creator and mobile YouTuber questions. If you do have a question, head down to the description. I've got a link down there that's going to open up a form. Drop your question in that form so I can be sure to see your question and get it answered, because when things get moving in the chat, sometimes I don't see it. Now, today's stream is going to be a short stream, so if you do have questions, head down there now and drop your questions in the form. How's everybody doing? I know this is Monday morning, I think, for most of you. It's Monday night here where I am. I hope everybody is doing well wherever you are in the world. Let me change this right here. Trusty Tiger, how's it going? Matt, RPM Nexus, how are you doing, sir? Kind sir. X-9, how you doing? Volcanic Edris, how's it going? Ghost Dog 54, what is going on? Doug Hewson YT, what is going on? Kathleen Plays YF Farah, how's it going? Mac Mr. J. You guys need simple names. You guys have these long, twisted, hard to say names. Woo! Meg D, how's it going? Northern Exotics, how you doing? And yeah, and Matthew Hayes, how you doing? Sam B, the Lego Master, how's everybody doing? First of all, represent. Where are you chiming in from? I'm chiming in here from Thailand. I'm in northern Thailand. It's like 9:30 p.m. It is Veterans Day in the USA, so happy Veterans Day. And if you, yeah, Norway, wow, look at that. England, Norway, and of course, RPM Nexus is in the USA, and Doug is down under in Australia. Captain Plays is in India. Okay, right on. I love India. All right, Texas in the house. There you go, Romantic. And you are a vet. Thank you, sir, for your service. We had a Remembrance Day yesterday. Okay, right on. Yeah, so normally I stream on Sunday night. But we didn't stream yesterday. We were hanging out. Jevin Dovey and Levi Allen were in town. Filmmakers, YouTubers. We were hanging out with them and shooting some holiday here in Thailand. Of course, with my brother Nick, so I didn't stream yesterday. I thought I would go on for a little bit today because I actually haven't streamed on this channel in a minute, because I went to the USA, I went to Vid Summit, I went down to Mexico, and it's been a couple of weeks since I went live on this channel, so I wanted to pop on for a little bit. Zach Talks Tech, how's it going, brother? Check your chat for stickers. So yeah, Zach Talks Tech, they told me to activate my stickers, and I click on the button and it's taking me to a dead page. So there's something weird, but when I go to look, it says it's activated. But then, let's see, now you got a sticker on there. So this is weird. So when I tap on the enable, it says I'm enabled. There you go. It looks like it's working. At least I got a heart. I don't know. We'll see. Soul Moon Rising, how's it going? Chiming in from Idaho. Haseen Plays, how you doing, buddy? Hope you are doing well. Dramatics and Destination Origami. Misty Elgato. Classic Hutchison. I can't give a shout out to everybody here, but Max Swaim, I wish I could just shout out everybody. It should be like a shout out stream. It's Liam YT, how's it going? Says hello, I love you, bro. I love you too. I love you more than you love me. I promise you that. I appreciate all of your support. So I'm going to hop into the forum here. There's only a couple of questions, and this is going to be a short stream. So I'm just going to kind of burn right through them here. First question comes from Sam, the Lego Master. And he's saying, how does channel branding help people subscribe to my channel? Okay, that's actually a good question. Channel branding by itself isn't going to drive subscribers to your channel. Your content is what's going to drive subscribers to your channel. The value that you're bringing the viewer is going to drive people to your channel. What your branding does is it makes them remember your channel. And your channel branding doesn't necessarily just have to be all about a logo or your colors. Your channel branding can be lots of different things. It can be part of your backdrop. It can be hats that you wear. It could be, yeah, it could be your logo. It could be the type of music that you play during your shows or your live streams or your videos, or right, it could be how you interact with the audience. Like your branding can be all sorts of things, and that's how people remember you, is by your branding. And this is going to come in really helpful down the road when you start working with companies and brands and channel sponsorships. It's going to make you look a lot more professional, and that sort of thing is very attractive to companies when you start working with them. So you definitely want to work on that if you're not doing so already. That's actually a pretty good question. Fairy Frequency ASMR, how are you doing? Buenos dias to April G. McKinley. Where are you chiming in from, April? coming in talking Spanish up in here. Scully's House of Thrillers, how you doing? And I do apologize for coming in on a Monday morning and messing up your Veterans Day in the USA and messing up your Monday morning elsewhere in the world. Starting in hot today, Hyper Eve says. Right on. So again, if you're just joining us, I know some people are just coming in here. There's a link in the description to a form. Drop your question in that forms to make sure that I can see it, because when the chat gets moving, I'm going to miss your questions, especially if I'm looking at the camera, trying to look deep into your soul to figure out what is inside, what's behind those eyes of yours. So I'm not actually looking in the chat most of the time. Let's see. Next question here. This one comes from... Dramatics, who says, how easy is it to grow to 1,000? Make sure I read that right. How can I easily grow to 1,000? Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news for you. The good news is you can grow to 1,000. Everybody in here can grow to 1,000. The other good news is you got to work for it, right? You have to put in the work to get to 1,000. The bad news is there's really no easy way to do it other than making videos. You have to make content that people respond to. You have to make sure you're choosing the right topics. You have to make sure that your titles are good. You make sure that your thumbnails are sticky. Make sure people are clicking and tapping on your thumbnails. You have to make sure that your videos deliver. When somebody taps on your thumbnail or they read your title and they say, that is a video that I'm interested in, and they tap on it, you have just seconds. You have seconds to get their attention. That's where the hook comes in, right? The hook. Today, I'm going to show you how to XYZ, right? If you watch my videos, which some of you might be watching my videos if you're part of my channel, today I might show you, right? You might hit my video and I might say something like, I'm going to show you how to screen record your Android and not have a watermark on the app. Let's go, or something like that, right? As soon as the screen starts, I tell them what to expect. That's the hook. I'm not wasting their time with an intro that comes in. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. That does work for some channels. I'm saying that you need to test that out to see if it works on your channel. Me, I like for people to get right into the nitty gritty. I want them to jump right into the meat. So I want them to get to whatever it is as quickly as possible. So I want to do that in return, right? They're going to click on your videos, tell them what's coming, and then give them what they came for. Right? Keep it sharp, keep it quick, just wham, bam, get in there and give them exactly what they came for. And if you do that video after video after video, and you're consistent and you're delivering the goods, right? You're giving them what they came for, you're going to grow to 1,000 subscribers. But it takes work, right? None of this stuff is easy. What's up, Beanie Draws? What's up, Joe Apps at Roll? How are you guys doing? Hope you are both doing well. X9 says, how do you make an intro for free in iOS? Well, there is the Legend app. Is that back on iOS? I think Legend's back on iOS. I'm not sure. I know it's back on Android. But here's the thing. Use your favorite free video editing app if you're trying to do this for free. They all have text features. So create text or load up or put your logo into the video editing app and use transitions at the beginning and at the end of your clip and make your own intro. But here's the thing, you don't necessarily need an intro. Now, show of hands, who uses an intro? Just say yes. Yes. If you use an intro, say yes. If you don't use an intro, say no. Hey, John, how's it going, man? Have not seen you here in quite some time, actually, man. I hope you are doing well. Neil, the Urban Explorer, how are you doing? Okay, so we have a lot of people saying yes, 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 yes. Ron's Trains and Things. What's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you were doing well on this Veterans Day. Well, there's a lot of people with intros in here. So here's, hey, I am Tassie. Here's one thing that I urge everybody to do who has an intro. I want you to, and most of you, if you're watching my channel or anybody else in the YouTube education space, you know how to do this. Hey, Christina, how's it going? You know how to check your audience retention report. If you don't know how to do that, go to YouTube and type in how to check my audience retention on YouTube. You're going to find a ton of videos showing you how to do that. You can even do it on your phone using the YT Studio app. Now, I want you to look at that graph and look at the beginning, and you're going to see like a drop-off happening. Okay? I want you to make, if you already have an intro, I want you to look at where that drop-off is on a handful of your latest, say your last 90 days. Check your videos over your last 90 days. See that drop off at the beginning, and then make a handful of videos without your intro and see if there's any difference on how quickly or how slowly people start to drop off. You might find, as Christina did, Christina says she dropped her intro, you might find that people hang on and they don't click away so quickly if you don't hit them with an intro right out of the gate. or just maybe they don't like your intro. I know some people who have tested it at the beginning and said, well, okay, well, it didn't matter at the beginning, but maybe they moved it towards a little bit after the hook, but maybe people don't like your music. Maybe it's too flashy and too in their face, and they're like, nope, I'm out. Maybe it's just too loud. Maybe it's too obnoxious, and they bounce. So try some videos with it. Try some videos without it. You have to measure this stuff. You have to test this stuff to see which one's going to work better. I don't have one. I've actually never tested one. It's on my to-do list is to test it to see how it does with people, but it's only going to be 3 or 4 seconds long, and it's not going to be obnoxious. I'll test it with maybe 4 or 5 videos, compare it against similar videos that are about the same length, around the same type of topics, and I'll see how they do. But you don't need one. Hey, Andy Marshall, how you doing, man? You don't need an intro, so test it to see if that works for you. I don't even, how did we even get, I don't even know how we got on that. All right, next question comes from, this is great. What's your channel name? They write anonymous. And then they go down to say, you might remember me. I was in your stream a few weeks ago. Okay, you might remember me. I was in your stream a few weeks ago and I said I was in love. Well, I'm back. He doesn't like me back. He is straight. I'm not. What? I have no idea. I don't think we got into matchmaking talk here on the channel. That's kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird question, but here's what you do. You go to the bathroom and you pour yourself a bubble bath. No, I'm just kidding. You don't do that. Yeah, that's kind of a weird question. I don't know where that came from. I don't remember anybody asking that. So Yamini Plays MC, next question, says, hey, D, I love your videos. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you watching. Says, I've been editing on iMovie for ages now, and I believe it's time to change software. Do you have any recommendations for editing apps on iPhone? That's actually a pretty good question. Hey, Lily Tree, how are you doing? So if you are, Mia Diva, how are you doing? The low, sexy voice, yeah. So if you are on iMovie right now and you're wanting to take that next step up, there are a couple options here, and it depends on how far down the rabbit hole and how advanced you want to get with editing. So here are the ones that I recommend. If you want to graduate from iMovie, you can graduate from iMovie to the next step up with a lot of effects, actually, and that would be Video Leap. Video Leap has a lot of free features. I think to export out to 4K, that might be paid. I can dig in and look later on that, but Video Leap is really good, gives you a bunch of cool effects that you can do. If you want to go up from there, you could go to LumaFusion. LumaFusion is probably the most pro video editing app out there, but it's kind of difficult to get your head around. So maybe if you want to step out of iMovie, step into Video Leap. Check out Video Leap, see how you like it, and see if that handles, because you actually do a lot of cool stuff with Video Leap. And then once you learn that, you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to outgrow this. Maybe you won't. I actually have a handful of videos coming on Video Leap. You can do a ton of stuff with it. So check out Video Leap, and then if that doesn't do it, check out LumaFusion. Both of those are kind of like the most logical step out. See who just came in here. Okay, so we got LumaFusion. So number 1 says Cute Cut. You know, I keep hearing people talking about Cute Cut. You know what? It's basic. It works. It works. Kathy Plays says KineMaster. Yeah, KineMaster's good. I use KineMaster on my Android, but when I'm on iOS, I've been using Video Leap and LumaFusion on iOS. I like how they feel on iOS. I like how they operate on iOS, and I'm digging KineMaster on Android. But when I'm trying to do like one thing I really like about Video Leap is you can do a ton of special effects on there, a ton of really cool graphics, especially if you're trying to make your own intros and that sort of thing. If you're trying to do blending with images or chroma key, Video Leap's pretty dope for that. Let me jump to the chat here and see what is going on. Life of Lois says, I love KineMaster. Urban Explorer says Premiere Pro for the win. Yeah, you know, so you can do one really cool thing. If you have a phone, an iPhone, and you have a computer, you can use Adobe Rush, and you can sync up your files between Rush and I believe even Premiere on your desktop. Both of those are, that's a pretty cool feature actually, when you can start syncing stuff between the two different devices. PixArt is good for mobile thumbnails. Yeah, for mobile thumbnails. Hey, Tim, how's it going? For mobile thumbnails, I recommend PixArt. for iOS. I also recommend Pixel Lab for Android users. And of course, if you want to get in there and make your photos pop and make them look really good, check out Snapseed, check out Adobe Lightroom CC, the free version. I graduated from Snapseed. Like, I was just all about Snapseed until I wrapped my head around Lightroom. You can do so much more stuff with an image in terms of color correcting and making an image look really good inside of Lightroom. But there's a lot to learn. So if you want to make your photos pop, Lightroom and Snapseed. What's going on, Luke K? Has seen plays as I use Snapseed. Yeah. Snapseed's amazing. So yeah, Lightroom it's Adobe Lightroom CC. It's the mobile version. And you can download it. They have the free version. You can use everything in there for free. The only thing you cannot do with the free version is sync it with your desktop. And the way this works is if you have a desktop and you're using Lightroom to edit your photos and you're also using it on your phone, you can save and exchange presets. So I could start editing something on my phone, and then I could put that down and then get home and open it up on my computer and continue the edit. And it would send the photo as well as any edits that I've worked on. They're all changeable. I can edit anything. It's a seamless thing, and it's really cool. Hey, Dow, how you doing? All right, next question here. By the way, if you're just joining us, I've got a link in the description below. Please hit that link, drop your question in the form. First come, first serve. This is going to be a short stream today, so the faster you can get down there, the better it's going to be. There's actually not too many questions today. Next question comes from Exploring Israel's History. That sounds like a pretty cool channel. He says, how come my viewers scrolled on what I did VODs instead of watch everything I got scrolled on? Okay. Some of your words are kind of backwards on here. So how come my viewers scrolled on what I did instead of watch everything I've got? Okay, so here's the thing you have to understand, and I apologize if I'm not interpreting your question correctly based on how you wrote it, but as creators, right, as YouTubers, of people who are uploading video content or even photo content or even blogs, written content, content is content, right? We're not owed an audience. There's no guarantee anyone is going to watch our content, even our own subscribers. People might subscribe to your channel because they liked one video that you made. Right? Oh, wow, that's a really cool video. I'll subscribe to this channel and then see what comes next. See if I like what they make in the future on that channel. And then maybe you're uploading content where they're just not interested in it. Like, that title, doesn't do anything for me. Then you upload another one, they're not really interested in that either. And then what happens, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people said, hey, people aren't getting my notifications, so maybe you don't get all the notifications that you want to get as well from your favorite creators. What happens is, if people start a history of not watching the videos when, right, like say I upload a video and you're a subscriber and you don't watch it, right? You get the notification, not interested. That topic doesn't interest me. And then you don't watch it. Every time you do that, you increase the chance of not being notified of another one of my videos. So if you start skipping out on a lot of your favorite creators' videos, there's a good chance that YouTube is not going to send you a notification as much for those particular videos. I've had situations where I've been on the road and I've traveled, or I just haven't been in the mood to watch a certain creator for whatever reason, and they just completely stop recommending their content to me, even though I'm a subscriber and I do want to get those notifications, but they don't send them. So it could be that they've just moved on because they're not interested in what you're making, and then that just kind of compounds, and then they don't watch that, so they stop getting notifications. So it depends on what's going on there. Lily Tree, how you doing? I think I already said that. Okay, Exploring Israel's History says they're only into the Jesus. Okay, so if they're only into Jesus content, right? Okay, I'm glad you said that. If they're only into Jesus content, then that's why they subscribe to your channel, or that's the content that they're interested in. Anything else that you do on the channel that's not related to that, that's not why they're part of your channel, and that's okay. People don't have to watch every video on your channel. That's just not how it works. People are busy. They have lives. They have families. They have children that need to go to soccer practice. They have extracurricular activities, right? I mean, people are just insanely busy. They can't possibly watch every video. And they probably got in. If you said they're only watching the Jesus content, then that's okay. I'll put this out here right now. If your goal is to grow your channel and you want to grow it faster, and you can identify that your people are responding, that your viewers are responding to Jesus content, and if you're okay with making more of that content, then I would go all in on that content, because that's what they're responding to. So if you can identify that, and you know for sure, based on your analytics, that whenever I make a content or whenever I make a video with this particular topic, people are into that, right? They're excited, they watch this. So make more of that. Give them what they want if your goal is to grow your channel faster than it's going right now. If you're going against the grain and you're like, hey, people want to see Jesus, but I'm not making Jesus videos, then you can't get upset if you're not growing or they're not watching your content. You know, does that make sense to everybody? If that makes sense to everybody, type in yes in the chat. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Hey, Leela, how are you doing, Leela? Nice to see you in here. And we're still trying to figure out that life balance thing. Leela asked an interesting question on Twitter today. She said, how do you find that life-work balance? And I know as creators, wow, look at this. A lot of people saying, yes, I'm glad you're on board with that. As creators, and I'm going to ask you another question here. We're gonna talk about Leela's question here. When you I want to put like yes, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. We're going to put 3 exclamation points at the end of this just so we can make a difference between the last question and this question. If you have a difficult time as a video creator or any creator, it doesn't matter what you do, if you make stuff, a difficult time separating life and separating work, type in yes right now. And what I mean by that is, do you go all in? If you're working, if you're creating something, you're making something. It might be a YouTube video, it could be a sculpture, it could be a painting, it could be whatever it is. If you go all in and you just kind of like forget about life sometimes, you forget about, maybe even forget about your responsibilities. I don't know, but you just forget that there's a whole life out there to live. Type in yes with 3 exclamation points, because I can tell you this, most creators I know, the good ones, most of the good creators, some of the best creators that I know, not just YouTubers, just creators and makers, right? People who make stuff, people who create stuff out of nothing. Most of the people I know who do that have a very difficult time with that work-life creation balance. Usually, and I know I speak for myself here, man, I can start on something, I can start doing something, start making something, and if somebody doesn't pull me away, if I don't get a text from my girlfriend, or if somebody doesn't literally just tell me, hey, you need to get out of there and do something, I'm not joking, I can stay awake for like, 2 or 3 days sometimes. I could just stay awake in my man cave here, right? I'm calling it a man cave because there's men in here. Ladies, calm down, right? So we have this studio here. We have all the gear. We have all the cameras. We've got the live streaming studio. I've got my videos set. And what you guys don't see is you don't see that I have an entire creative corner where I build costumes and that sort of. Some of you know I'm into cosplay, and I'm working on Star Wars costumes constantly and that sort of thing. So I have an entire area over here, and when I go to this area and I start making something, I want to make new armor, or I want to make a new arm gauntlet, or I want to build some helmet out of scratch, or just build something out of nothing, I can spend, I can stay here until the sun comes up, and then the sun comes down. Sometimes I forget to eat. Sometimes it's crazy. And I know a lot of you are on board with that, where you just dive, hey, lemon cream, you just dive head first into whatever it is that you want to create, and sometimes like everything else just kind of like disappears. And I think that's an awesome thing. It's a scary thing, actually. It's a scary thing, but on the other side, I think for a lot of people, that's it. Like, you get in the zone. You know what I'm talking about? Those of you who understand, you get in your zone, and like the blinders come on, and maybe you have music playing, maybe you don't have music playing, but you get in your zone, and like that's your happy place. That's where you thrive. That's where your brain goes in overdrive, and the juices are flowing, your creativity just starts coming, and that's how you lose track of time. And that's how the balance gets out of whack, because once you fall into that zone, right? So those of you, I know some of you are musicians in here. Hey, Shannon Vlogs. How are you doing, Shannon? Haven't seen you in a while. I know, who's a musician? I know Absolute Rule. I think you're a musician, if I'm not mistaken. I believe we talked about that before. Who's a musician here? Who plays music? Like who's a good musician? Okay, so Dolls, she's a musician here. Okay, Absent Rule. Okay. Oh, that's right. Ron, you are too. Okay. Christina can hum a killer beat. Okay, so those of you who are musicians, if you've ever... Did you guys hear that siren? Wow. There was like an accident or something outside the door. So if you're a musician and if you get into funk music, like 1970s funk, right? Like Sly and the Family Stone, James Brown, Ohio Players, Curtis Mayfield, the funk, right? That sort of stuff. You know, like, or any sort of a soul or any sort of Motown, or in some cases jazz, or maybe even the blues in some cases, right? You understand that you fall into a groove, right? You fall into that groove where you just kind of like, I don't know, man, you fall into the pocket, right? If you're a drummer or you're a bass player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, funkadelic, right? You just kind of like fall into that groove, and that's where things just kind of like, it feels so good you never want to leave, right? You can just jam on that one groove. You can jam on that one line, especially if you're a bass player or a drummer, right? You can just go on that forever. It feels so good. It's in the pocket. It's in the groove. Same thing for creators, right? That's your zone. That's your creative zone. So same thing, right? Musicians, you know what I'm talking about. It's all the same thing. Chrissy Flux, that was just a long, I don't even know. I've got this problem. In addition to, hey, Only Liz, how's it going? It involved Victor Wooten, right? Victor Wooten. In addition to, I don't even know. I lose track. I just kind of go off on these things. Rachel Fisk Art says, I can paint for hours and hours sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hours and hours. That's the thing. So Fatman the Flipper says, hey, man, I've been watching you and Nick for a long time, trying my best to apply what you teach. Thank you. Hey, man, we're happy to hear that you're getting value out of the content that we're making. Yeah, man, I could just talk about, seriously, like, I want to answer your questions, and I'm going to, but I could just talk about the zone. I could talk about just being in that creative space. I could just ramble on for that, and whew, yeah, it just feels good, man. I love being in that space until somebody's like, dude, you gotta eat, right? You gotta get out of the studio. You gotta eat something. You gotta, like, you know, there's real life outside the door. You have people. You have things that you have to do. All right, enough of that. Okay, DJF, we are not reviewing channels today. We're just hanging out. Christina, how's it going? Christina says, I got the new iPhone 11 Pro with the wide-angle lens. I had the Osmo 2, and it shows the arm in my frame when I shoot the wide angle. Will the newer Osmo 3 not show the gimbal arm? Or do you know a gimbal that won't show it? So, Christina, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you mean is when you have the camera set up using the wide angle lens, you're saying that it sees the arm of the actual gimbal itself. That's what you're saying, Christina? So I have the Osmo 2 and I have the Osmo 3 over here. I can test both of them out. Okay. So I'm going to have to test them out. I'll be back in the studio making some videos tomorrow. If you want to send me like a DM on Twitter, please do that. Send me a DM on Twitter and just like, hey, check the Osmo 2, check the Osmo 3. So I don't forget, because by the end of the stream, my head's going to be fried from answering questions and talking. But yeah, I can test it out and see. One thing that you could do, have you tried flipping the phone upside down on the other? It's not ideal, but like if it's getting in the way and it's you need to use it, have you tried flipping it around? Have you tried that? Or maybe sliding it around a little bit. I don't know how the weight, or if you need to put a balance on there. Hey, Eric Wait, how's it going? Yeah, just send me a DM, and I will check that for you and see which one of those do that. All right, next question. Let's see, I flip it and the emergency thing comes up. You know why the emergency thing probably comes up? Because you're probably clamping it on the little buttons here. The clamp's probably hitting the button and it's making the emerge, because you're holding it down, right? The clamp is holding it. So you got to clamp it and you got to like move it around to make sure you're not pushing down those buttons. Hey, Mobile Filmmaking, how's it going? He says there's a recent review of gimbals on iPhonographers for the iPhone 11, and there was only one that didn't get in the way during the test of the wide-angle lens. Boom, there you go. So iPhoneographers, Christina, that's a great channel. Blake Calhoun runs that channel. He does some amazing testing, and Mobile Filmmaking says only one gimbal didn't get in the way. So yeah, that might be a video worth watching. Halcyon Gamer, thank you so much. Much appreciated. But I will check that for you, Christina, and I'll experiment and just kind of move the phone around and see if I can figure a workaround. And I've got a bunch of gimbals over here I can test as well. All right, back to the form. Boom. Okay, next question comes from Scully's House of Thrillers. Does Streamlabs replace MailChimp or ConvertKit? Okay, now, unless there's been an announcement that I'm not aware of, Streamlabs is not acting as an email collector. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I may have missed an announcement somewhere, because MailChimp and ConvertKit, they manage your emails on a professional level. Like, for example, you can set up a bunch of pre-made emails and send somebody through a series of emails, right? So you can go create, let's just say 25 emails, an entire sequence of emails. And then when they enter their email, right, they get to join your email, then they're going to get like a, hey, thanks for joining the email. And then every time they open an email or they don't open the email, that triggers, let's just say ConvertKit, that sends a signal to ConvertKit, and they can say, okay, this person just opened your email. So then you need to send them this next email in your sequence. And if they didn't open the email, right, maybe you need to send them a different email with a different title in it. And after so many emails that they don't open, you can set it to where it automatically unsubscribes them. There's lots of different things that you can do. So as far as I know, Streamlabs has not done anything like that. They haven't jumped into that. Those are two totally, completely different systems, where Streamlabs is for streaming your games, for doing live streaming like we're doing right now. And somebody correct me if they've actually implemented something like that, but I'm not aware of anything like that. Let's Be Frank says, has anyone asked about the YouTube terms of service? Yeah, that's, I'm a little bit concerned about the new YouTube terms of service, and I actually don't have that open in front of me right now, so I can't exactly quote the words that they use, but they say something along the lines of, if they no longer find your channel to be commercially viable, they can terminate your channel. And somebody, Doug, you might know the actual wording on that, but it's something like that. Something like if your channel if they find your channel is not commercially viable, they can terminate your channel. Wow, that's terrifying. It's not to do with channels. Are you sure about that, Beanie? Because the way I'm interpreting it, the way I'm hearing it, is that if they don't understand that you are, if you're not, it has to do with studio. Beanie, we might be talking about two different things here. We're talking about the new terms of service. The new terms of service that they just did an update on, where they specifically said that they can terminate your channel if you're not commercially viable. I think that's something, we might be talking about something different here, Beanie. Yep, the wording is misleading. Yeah, so yeah, the way I understand it, it's very vague. They don't go into detail. They don't explain what that actually means. So I'm hoping that they will have some clarity on that, because as is, I think it's a pretty terrifying statement, right? As is, no, that doesn't mean that if you're only monetized. So, all right, so this is my opinion based on the limited knowledge that I have from the terms of service. This did not come from YouTube. I mean, the terms of service did, but this is just my opinion. If they mean it, if they truly mean it, how they worded it, which is terrifying. Hold on here. Nick made a post in the Nimmin group with the opinion of what he thinks it means. Okay, so what I think it means, if it really means what they worded it, or how they worded it, it means that if they can't make money on you, then they have the right to kick you off the platform. That doesn't mean if you're monetized or not. That just means that they can't make money on you if you're not commercially viable. They can't make money on you, or, right, let's say this. Let's say you're somebody who says, I'm going to turn off my ads. Maybe you have a Patreon, and there's a lot of channels who will say things like, I'll turn off ads on my video if you support my Patreon channel, right? Support my Patreon channel, I make money, and then I can turn off the ads. Well, if you turn off the ads on YouTube, yeah, they're a free hosting. They'll host your videos, but they're also a business. So the way I'm interpreting this is, if they can't make money off you, then they have the right as a business to kick you off the platform. Is that what they mean? I don't know, but it's kind of terrifying knowledge. So I'm going to jump into the chat and see what you guys think it means right here, because I think it's very vague. It's very alarming. And I hope we get some clarity on that soon, which we probably will, because a lot of people are freaking out. Beanie says, terminate your access or Google's accounts access to all or part of the service if YouTube believes in its sole discretion that provisions of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. Yeah. So another way you can look at that is, this is YouTube's, this is their escape hatch, so to speak. Like, if they can't get rid of you any other way, then they could have an executive decision to just say, yeah, we can't really make money on you based on whatever. Ad companies don't want to run ads on your videos, or you've turned your ads off, or we don't think you can make money on you. I mean, that's pretty wide open, and that's what makes it scary. So hopefully they'll come out on Creator Insiders and give us some clarity or something like that. But the wording, it's very scary. Commercially viable. Yeah. Well, Shannon, the words commercially viable, that means making money on you, right? Commercially, that means they're making money on you. Commercially viable. If they can't make money on you, they now have the right to kick you off the platform once that comes into play, which is next month. That's scary. So so Sarah Dawn, that's probably about Studio Classic. So there's a bunch of different things happening with YouTube. They are going to do away with Studio Classic, right? They're gonna force everybody into beta. Well, actually, I think it's Studio Beta. They removed the word beta, I think. So whatever it is, a studio, right? Everybody's going to get forced to that. There is a date where people are going to stop losing access to Studio Classic. This is completely different than the update to the terms of services, where they're now saying if you're not commercially viable, they can terminate your actual account. This is different than getting access to Studio Beta. And this is why it's terrifying. And Gerald Brown, this is just a brilliant, Gerald, I'm on board 100% with this, where he says it means whatever they want it to mean. That's it right there. Whatever YouTube wants that to mean, no matter if they mean they can wipe you out, they can shut you down for whatever reason, they mean whatever they want it to mean. YouTube's a company. This isn't charity. It's not a government-ran organization. They are a business. They are in business to make money. It's a privilege that we can even upload to that platform, right? Those of you who have been around, hey, the Mark Show, how's it going? Happy Veterans Day. For those of you who have been around for a long time and maybe were in web development back in the day, you know how expensive web hosting used to be to host video content. 15, 20 years ago, it was ridiculously expensive, and hosting is relatively cheap these days, but YouTube doesn't charge us to upload our content there. They don't, it's video storage, right? They deliver our content for free. It's a privilege that we can upload there, but they are a business, and at the end of the day, they do get the final say on that. Hey, Brian G. Johnson, what is going on? Hey, Brian, since you're in here, I would love to hear your thoughts on the new terms and services. Hey, Big Jim, how's it going? By the way, Brian G. Johnson is the author of this book, Tube Ritual. You can get a copy of this down in your description below. He helps you get your first 5,000 subscribers, and Brian is now over 100,000 subscribers. Brian says he will make a video. Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to make a video. I have a feeling. Hey, Tana Solit, how's it going? Yeah, I think it's vague. I think it's vague information. The language is terrifying, but at the end of the day, they're a business, right? If they can't make money on us, right? What would you do? What would you do if you had an online resource where people were just costing you a ton of money in bandwidth fees, right? And then hey, I can't make money on all these channels. These people were turning their ads off. Yeah, what would you do? That's a tough question. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying they're a business. It's not charity. They can do whatever they want. Brian says the vast majority of YouTubers will not be affected. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm pretty sure that they're going to cherry pick channels to go after. This is probably just they write stuff, legalese is always vague to begin with on purpose, right? When you write things very in a vague manner, then it's easy to wiggle in and out of that sort of thing. So most people aren't going to get affected. I totally agree with Brian on that one. But if there are people they want to get out of, like, yeah, we got to get rid of this person, that's their way out. All right. Abini says it's a scare tactic. I don't know. You know this, somebody's going to be made an example of, right? There are some people that are going to get hit on this. Who knows? Creator Fundamentals. How's it going, Dan? Hope you were doing well. All right, so the next question. Scully's, I know we got way off of your answer there, but I hope that made sense to you. Next question is from Kathleen Plays. Says, what are the best free apps for cinematography for free? Okay, so here's the thing about cinematography. It's not necessarily about the apps. It's what you do with the apps. But one thing you want to look at if you're looking for apps to help you shoot more cinematic video is you want to look for apps where you can change the frame rate. For example, most cinematic videos are shot in 24 frames per second. So you want to look for an app that allows you to change the frame rates if you can't already do that inside of your phone. A lot of phones, especially if it's one of the newer phones, you can change the frame rate on the native camera app. Now, if you want to shoot B-roll and you want to slow that B-roll down to get that nice, super buttery smooth, you can shoot that at 60 frames per second. You can shoot that at 120 frames per second, and then slow that down inside of your video editing app. Now, great apps to do this with. You can shoot it on Filmic Pro. It's more on the expensive end, but it does give you absolute total controls over all the features of your camera. You can also use the Moment Camera Pro app. That's the least expensive of those apps, and you can do everything in there as well. Tana Solit says Filmic Pro is dope. Yeah, Filmic Pro is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The thing is, though, you have to learn how to use it. If you don't have any experience and you're used to shooting everything in auto, right? You just grab your camera, you turn it on, and you just shoot everything in automatic, and it does everything for you. And if you get Filmic Pro, you might say, okay, what am I doing here? I've got shutter speed, I have ISO, I have frame rates, and that sort of thing. So what you want to do is you want to take the time to learn how to use Filmic Pro. Actually, my last video, it's 5 YouTubers that you want to watch. In that video, I mentioned some YouTubers that go into detail about how to use Filmic Pro. They explain all of that stuff because I don't go into things that are too in-depth in my videos. That's just not who my audience is. The majority of my audience are just kind of getting started, or they're middle ground in terms of where they're at with their ability. So I kind of cover there. If you want like in-depth stuff on how things work, go watch that video, head down to the description in that video, and go check out some of the channels that I recommend there. Hey, Brandon Rico Simpson, how's it going? It says LumaFusion is perfect for iOS editing and exporting too. Yeah, and Brandon, he's all about making music on his iOS devices as well. So if you guys are into that, go check out Brandon Rico Simpson, who's in the chat right now. And by the way, Dan, Creator Fundamentals, hold on, man. I want to mod you. 1 second here. Why can't I add you as a moderator? Okay, Dan, so if you're still in here, go ahead, Dan, and drop a link and drop the dates to the event that you're having. Dan, Creator Fundamentals, who's in the chat right now, he's throwing a creator event in New York. As far as I know, this is the first official large-scale creator event that's being held in New York. It's called People of Video. It's called People of Video, and it's in May. And Dan, if you want to go ahead and drop those dates in there along with the link out to the website, man, knock yourself out. I would love to help promote that in here. So C.C says, D, do you believe content quality quantity in terms of growth? Well, definitely quality, right? Like you want quality content. You want to do the best that you can. That doesn't mean that you have to get to the point to where it's like, if it's not perfect, I can't release it. That's not what I mean. You want to do it the best that you can without getting frozen on being perfect. A lot of people don't release because if I can't be perfect, if this isn't exactly perfect, then I'm not going to release it, right? You got to learn how to dial it back a little bit. So go as good as you can, and then dial it back just to the point where you can execute and get those videos up. So quality is always going to come first, and then consistency after that. If you can consistently release quality that resonates with people, then yeah, that's going to accelerate your growth for sure. Topic Ruben, how you doing, brother? Hey, Dan, did you, oh, there it is. Okay, so Creator Fundamentals just said People of Video Conference, May 2nd through 3rd, 2020, Albany, New York, and there's the link, Power of Video. And you know what? I'm just going to open this up really quick. Let's see here. And by the way, for those of you who are just joining us, happy Veterans Day if you're in the USA. If you have any questions, head down to the description. I got a link down there that's going to open up a form. Please drop your question in the form. Let me go over here and open this up here on a browser. Where is my browser? One second. So we now have the Stream Deck XL, right? How many people are using a Stream Deck right now? Dan, I'm not sure yet. I'm like 95% yes, Dan. How many people's using a Stream Deck, an Elgato Stream Deck for doing scene changes and that sort of thing? So we now have the Stream Deck XL. Which, you know what? Hey, Fly Ride, what's going on? I got to show you guys this. I got to show you this. So hold on, that's higher than last. Yeah, Dan, I'm creeping towards 100, brother. So let me see here. I got to show you this. So let me turn on the NDI. I'm going to show you the NDI on my phone. So 1 second here. So here's the Stream Deck XL, and then I'm going to show you the comparison. Whoa, between the two. I'm just going to wreck our entire studio. So 1 second here. Where's the NDI? Okay, so here's what we got. So this is the original Stream Deck. You can see the size here, right? And this is the Stream Deck XL. This is the Stream Deck XL. Bad audio. I can't win. I can't win. Oh, hold on. Maybe I know why. Boom. Let's try this. Are we good? Is that better? Guys, is that better? Are we better? Live happens. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so this is the original Stream Deck. You can see the size here, and this is the Stream Deck XL. So you see all the extra buttons right here. So I had everything memorized here. Everything was muscle memory memorized on my fingers. But now with the new Stream Deck XL, I haven't memorized these yet. So I'm still, and by the way, look at that. So when I press Brian's book thing, I press his face, right? I press the face, and I get that. So apologies for the audio mishap. That was my fault. I didn't turn off the microphone on the NDI app here. So what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was looking for my browser, my web browser. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Be right back. Browser. There it is. Boom. So we're going to go to the browser, and then we are going to resize this. Transform, fit to screen. Okay, so this is what's happening here. So it looks like Nick is speaking there, Judy Fox, Dan Courier, Meredith Marsh, Dale L. Roberts, Denise Allison, Ross Brand. I believe Cody Warner is speaking there as well. Yeah, this is going to be a really, really cool thing. And they're also taking volunteers. So if you're like, hey, this isn't in my budget, I can't go, this is something you can definitely volunteer for. And those of you who have volunteered for any sort of an event, you know that volunteering is an excellent way to get access to things that you normally don't get access to. So, hey, Stanley Orchard, how's it going? Fairy Frequency ASMR says, nice team. Eric Waite says, it sounded like R2-D2 farted. Yeah, my apologies. So here's a little tip. If you're using an NDI app, which I just did to show you the Stream Deck, excuse me, if you're already using a microphone, you have to make sure that you turn off the microphone inside of the app before you make it live. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to take audio from both sources, and it can sound really terrible if you do that. Is Tim Schmoyer going to be speaking there too, Doug? Hey, Adams Exploits, how you doing? That's pretty cool. Tim's going to be there too. Yep. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. So this is turning out to be a really cool event. All right, next question. Boy, we just love to get off topic here. I love it. Life with Cameras. How's it going, Jeffrey? He says, I can't seem to get enough views no matter what I do. I don't know what else I can do anymore to grow. I want to be like you and Nick, but I feel like the only way I can do it is if I buy subscribers. I know this is not the right thing to do, but D, I'm desperate, brother. By the way, good seeing you at Vid Summit. So we're going to work this backwards. First of all, it was awesome seeing you at Vid Summit. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time there. And thank you so much for the pictures that you took of us on stage. I really, really appreciate that. And it's good to hear that your dad is recovering from his brain surgery. So yes, so we're going to keep going backwards. You don't want to buy subscribers, because those subscribers, when you buy them, that's just a number. And those numbers are not going to mean, they're not going to equal views. They're not going to equal community. They're not going to equal watch time. They're not going to equal true engagement, right? All you're doing is inflating a subscriber number. So you definitely, Dan, 96.2%, Dan. So yeah, you definitely don't want to buy subscribers ever, no matter how desperate you are. Now, the fact that you say you don't know what else to do anymore, but you're wanting to grow, you can't get enough views no matter what you do. I know you started your second channel. Let me pull you up here on my screen. Let me see what you're doing. If a camera has been some announcements to be unstoppable. Okay, so what you're doing on your channel right now, Jeffrey, is you're making content that you want to make, life with cameras, and that's cool. You're documenting your trip to Vietnam, which is awesome. You're talking about your life with cameras, which is awesome. And you're really talented, and you've got a great eye for the things that you do. But just at a glance here, and this is not deep diving into your channel, this is just looking at things at a quick glance here. And by the way, you understand all of the technical aspect of stuff, but I'm looking at your titles, and you gotta, like, well, first of all, you're getting views. Like, you're getting views. Like, as I'm scrolling through here right now, you're getting views. So I'm actually gonna bite my tongue for a second and say you've got 339 subscribers. You're getting views. Some of these have like 500 views, 200 views, 300 views, almost 400 views, 600 views. So you're getting views. You're just not getting them as fast as you want them. So what I would recommend is, because you are talented, you do know what you're doing, I would recommend making a series of videos. Start making a content plan, make a content strategy, instead of just saying, like, and I'm just going to use some examples here. Vietnam adventurers traveling to I don't even know how to pronounce it, traveling to Khe Sanh, Vietnam, right? Travel to the Hue, Vietnam, get to the chopper. Da Nang, Vietnam bloopers, laughing so much. Night out in Da Nang, Vietnam, right? Meeting the locals. They're okay titles, but one, they're not compelling titles. They're not titles that would make me say, I gotta watch this. I gotta click on this, right? And the thumbnails aren't necessarily, they're not bad thumbnails, and I'm not your demographic necessarily. Some of these thumbnails I would probably click on. Some of them I wouldn't. They're not really, they don't make me wonder about what's going on, because you got to think about the, you know, what's the goal? Hey, Tube Techie, Uncle Dan, how's it going? You know, what's the goal of the thumbnail? The goal of the thumbnail is to stop people scrolling, to stop people looking across the page, and to get that click or to get that tap. That is the single goal of that thumbnail, besides obviously just clarity about what's going on in the video. But there's nothing alluring about the thumbnail that makes me go, oh, I got to see that, right? I got to see that video. I got to watch that. And then with your titles aren't bad, but they're also not necessarily compelling in terms of like, oh yeah, I got to click on that. And they're not necessarily search friendly either. So I would make a content strategy. I mean, if you want to grow, if you want to get more people to what you're doing, life with cameras, right? Life with cameras, start making tutorials, start showing people how to do what it is that you do. You're incredibly talented. Start teaching people how to do what you do, right? Now if you want to do the vlog stuff, that's cool, but you're going to have to come up with better thumbnails and better titles where people go, I have to click on this, right? I got to tap on this. I got to see what's going on here, right? That's one way about it. But if you want to get evergreen content that continues to give and continues to give and continues to give, then you're going to have to mix that up with some other videos that are going to be more helpful, teaching people what it is that you're doing. Life with cameras. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to show you how to become a better photographer, and just start breaking it down at the most basic level and walk people through what they need to do, video after video after video after video, to become a better photographer. So that's what I do with your channel. I mean, you're making good stuff. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just with some, you need to tweak this, right? More compelling titles or more search-friendly titles. And some of your thumbnails are good. Some of them could probably be worked on. That's one thing the TubeBuddy's A/B feature can help you figure out too, right? Figure out, is this thumbnail going to perform better than this thumbnail? Is it going to get more clicks? Is it going to bring more watch time? Is it going to bring more subscribers? That's where the TubeBuddy A/B testing tool is really going to come in handy. I don't know if you have that or not. Reach out to me if you don't. Maybe we can see what we can do with TubeBuddy there. But just some tweaks, man, just some tweaks. But don't buy. Don't buy no matter what. Okay, so next one comes from Haseen Plays. It says, hey, dude, remember me? I do remember you, Haseen Plays. He says, I recently hit 200 subscribers. All right, dude, high five. But my uploading and thumbnail making skills, and I realize that some of my viewers are coming from the USA, and I live in Pakistan. Can you tell me what's the best time to upload videos for USA viewers? Okay. And can you go to my channel and tell me some things that I'm still doing wrong? No, I'm not pulling up any channels, but I can tell you what has been working recently for me with USA viewers, because I'm in Thailand and I'm not too far away from you in terms of time zone. You're probably just an hour or two, maybe three away from me. So I've been aiming to upload when it's about 7 a.m. in California, right? So whatever time that means for you, when I upload here and it's around 7 a.m. in California, that seems to be my sweet spot. So you're going to have to try that and see if that works out for you. And again, testing, right? Hey, D, what flavor of OBS are you using? We are using Streamlabs OBS version 0.18.5. Susie Valentine Realtor, how you doing? Hope you were doing well. Just sitting down with your coffee in California. Midnight Madness 4x4. How's it going, man? All right, next question comes from Fairy Frequency ASMR. Okay, the question is, which do you feel is more important? Uploading more often or waiting for the last video to reach a certain amount of views? Okay, if you're not getting views on those videos, right? If you're uploading and you're not getting that traction, I would definitely upload more, but I wouldn't brute force upload for the sake of uploading. I would really focus on uploading quality videos. I like to give my video, like if I go, and I've been pretty lazy recently, where I'm just uploading like once a week. But I used to upload twice a week, and I went through a period where I was uploading 3 times a week, not including live streams and any of that, right? So I've done 3 times a week, I've done twice a week, I've done once a week. The reason I'm able to do once a week right now is 1, because I'm really busy, and 2 is because I have a lot of evergreen content that continues just to pour tons of views and watch time and bring subscribers to the channel and to help my channel grow. Like lots of older videos that are just really just driving a lot of engagement and new viewers to the channel. So that's why I've slowed down to about once a week. Currently, I will ramp that back up to about 2 again. But what you want to do is, like if you're going to upload more, I would at least give it about 48 hours to breathe. I know a lot, if you're doing daily, first of all, that's a grind. I don't recommend doing that for anybody unless you really have a lot inside of you to give. But, upload every couple of days. And if that one doesn't get any traction, just upload another one. And after a certain amount of time, go back and look at it and say, okay, this video is not doing very well. Change your thumbnail, change your title. And I don't mean do that, every couple of days, but let it ride for a couple of months and see what happens. I don't know what type of content you're making. Well, you're making ASMR content. Yeah, that one's tough too. ASMR is fierce competition. But put it out there, and if it doesn't do well, a certain amount of time, change your title, change your thumbnails. Hold on, I think we just got a. Did it go? Hold on. Tana So Lit.
Superchat.
Thank you, brother. Says, yo, D, I'm using OBS Studio on my Mac Mini. Really? You can do that? Okay. But when I use Streamlabs on my PC, it's so much easier, I think. When they're going to come to... I don't know, man. So I know Doug Houston, who's in here right now, too. He's doing everything on a Mac, and I think he's using Ecamm Live. And apparently Ecamm Live is pretty easy, and so is StreamYard. I was testing StreamYard just the other day on my test channel, my secret channel. Man, StreamYard is so easy. I'm shocked at how easy it is. But hopefully they're going to roll Streamlabs OBS out to Mac users as well. I don't know. I don't know the date. You can reach out to them. I have no idea what they're going to do there. But Ecamm Live, that's supposed to be solid on a Mac. And I know StreamYard's is, because it's browser-based. StreamYard's solid, man. Ecamm, yeah. I think there's 2 M's if I'm not mistaken. But, hey, Paul Peck, Drywall Tube, what's going on, brother? But StreamYard is great. Like, it's completely browser-based. And one of the cool things you can do is, let's say you want to pull somebody in and have guests come in. All you got to do is send them a link, right? That you can get an invite code, and you can send that to them. They tap on that, and they just come right in. They come right in on their browser, or you can send them a link, and they can come in on their phone browser. For iOS users, they have to use Safari. I think for Android, they use Chrome. StreamYard is really good. I was actually considering, before I went live, like 5 minutes before I went live today, I was thinking about using StreamYard to go live and pulling in guests and having conversations here tonight, because we did that on the test channel the other day. And man, I really love it. That was a good time. Brandon Rico Simpson says Switcher Studio is a beast. Yeah, so if you're an iOS user and you've got an iPhone, of course, if you're an iOS user, you've got an iPhone. But if you also have a tablet, or if you have multiple iPhones, Switcher Studio, and there's another one called, one second here. So there's Switcher Studio, which allows you to take all of your iOS devices, your iPads and all your iPhones, and you can turn each one into a camera source, and then one of them is a camera switcher. So let's say you want to set up 2 or 3 different cameras, and you want to switch between all of them. You can do that with multiple iPhones and multiple iPads. You can do that with Switcher Studio. And then at VidSummit, I saw this company called Cinemaker, and they would be the competitor to Switcher Studio. Cinemaker does the same thing, but they do something a little bit different. You can, let's say you have 2 iPhones and an iPad, right? So say your iPad's a switcher, and then you've got 2 iPhones and your camera. So you can live stream with it, or you can record the videos. You can record the videos with or without live streaming, and it records each camera individually, right? Then you can go back at the beginning when you're all finished. And this is like, if you want to redo talking head content and you want to really speed it up, you can do your multiple cameras, you hit record, you do your video. Then you can come back and you hit play, right? You hit play in a different feature. And as it goes through the video, you just tap on the track that you want to be the main camera. Literally, you just tap on it. You say, okay, during this part, I want this camera. Then the next part, you tap on this camera. Then the next part, you tap on this. And it edits the video in real time, and it pumps out a final video of just one track because it records all of them. It's mind-blowing, the stuff that they're doing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah, it's called Cinemaker. But yeah, iOS users, Switcher Studio or Cinemaker, incredible, incredible stuff. All right, next question. Next question is DJF Vlog says, how can I get more people to watch my content? Yeah, man, we've talked about this before. You're making like how-to content for YouTube. You've got to make more videos. You got to make better thumbnails. You need to make better titles, and you just got to make more videos and make better videos, right? Like, you're 14 years old. You still have a lot of time. You still have a lot of content that you've got to make, and you got to find your voice. You've got to find the best way to communicate to the people watching your content. You got to make great thumbnails. You got to make, good topics and good titles. It just takes time, man. You got to keep doing it. You got to just keep making videos and learning from each video that you make. Okay, next question is from Isaac LOL. It says, how do people use copyrighted songs but don't get copyrighted? What do they do? Okay, so there's a couple things going on here. One, you don't know if they're using a copyrighted song or not. So there's a new company called Lickd, L-I-K-D, and they allow you to license copyrighted songs from them. Now, they're a new company. They don't have a ton of licensed music just yet, but they are starting to get like Rick Astley or Simple Minds. They're getting movie soundtracks. They're getting actual music that you hear on the radio, and you can license them on a per song basis. I think it's around $8 per song or something like that, but you can license actual music that you hear on the radio. So that could be one thing that they're doing. The second thing, licked, yeah, there it is, Dan. The second thing is you don't know if they're getting a copyright claim or not, right? So two things can happen. So let's say I'm using a sound, let's say I'm using a song that, let's say I'm using Coldplay, right? Coldplay is not giving their licenses to YouTubers. Let's say I have a Coldplay video in my, or a Coldplay song in my video. Two things could happen. One, I can get a copyright claim from the record company, and that claim means that they claim the monetization from that video. So any ads that run on that video, they get the money from that. YouTube gives them the money. That's called a copyright claim. And that actually doesn't, that's not really a negative thing on your channel. The other option they have is to give you a copyright strike. Copyright strike is, yeah, you're in trouble for that. They're not claiming the monetization. That means that content's got to, or that audio clip's got to come out, and that strike actually, hey, Shannon, you have a good one. Take care, and take care of the little one. That strike actually goes against your channel. You don't want that. So if you're seeing people that continue to play that music, you're like, wow, how are they getting away with that? There's a good chance that they're not making any money on that song, right? The record label has claimed that video, and they're getting all the monetization, and they don't make you remove the music if you get a claim. So that's how that's happening. And if they haven't been hit yet, they will, right? If they're using some obscure song or something, they'll eventually get hit. Okay, let's go. Trusty Tiger, who says, please, may I have some video ideas that do not involve your face or your voice? All right, guys, let's crowdsource this. Can we come up with some video ideas for is it Trusty Tiger? For Trusty Tiger. Let's come up with some video ideas for Trusty Tiger that does not involve your face or your voice. Now, I don't know why you would want to do that, because by adding a voice, by adding your face, it adds a human element to your videos. People connect with that. That's going to help you grow. That's going to help build a community. But for whatever reason, you don't want to do it, and that's cool. I'm behind that. So check into the chat right now. He didn't say what the channel was about. He said he's still deciding. So it sounds to me like he's wanting to, or she's wanting to get into YouTube, but they're paralyzed on what kind of content they can make where they don't show their face or their voice, right? Mobile filmmaking, yeah, but I'm not photogenic at all. Yeah, neither am I. Look, I didn't want to get in front of the camera. Hey, Magical Nathan. I didn't want to get in front of the camera either. So Paul Peck Drywall Tube says unboxing videos. You can have unboxing videos. You could have ASMR where you don't actually speak, but you can tap on stuff. You can scratch on stuff. You can crumple paper. You can make eating. Look, there's a ton of stuff on ASMR where people don't actually have to speak, right? You can do unboxing videos. Somebody said origami videos. Apps That Roll says vlog in first person, or just do straight B-roll. A2R Plays Gaming says animations. Stanley Orchard says time-lapse. Wow, that's interesting. Time-lapse or data analysis graphs are a thing. No face, no voice. What else do we have here, guys? Yeah, and there's also gaming videos, of course. Recording tours of popular places, experiments. Yeah, that's interesting. Creator Dan says, I'm going to do an ASMR channel where it's just a click of me refreshing real-time statistics on YouTube. I love that, Dan. I love that. Yes, there's a lot of really good ideas here coming out for people who don't have to show their face or put their voice out there. These are some really good ideas. There's other things that you can do. Is you can get software, and I'm not sure if they have it on an app yet or not, but you can get software where you can get, like, I'm not going to call them robotic voices, but it's an AI voice. It's an artificial intelligent voice where they mimic human voices, and some of them sound some of them sound really bootleg and ghetto, but some of them sound really good. Some of them sound very human, and they don't sound so computerized. So there's that. Cooking videos set to music, hands only. Yeah, there you go. You know, if you're trying to do this on a budget, you have access to the YouTube music or the YouTube audio library. You can get all the music you want for free, and you can do anything just set to the sound of music, right? Time lapses, drawings, cooking. There you go, man. There are a ton of great ideas in here. Trusty Tiger. So here's the thing, man. Pick one and just start making videos on it. And if that doesn't work after a handful of videos, change it up a bit. But the important thing is to just grab one and, you know, here's an idea and just run with it. And don't worry about if it's the right idea or not, because there's a good chance that as you start making videos on the platform, there's a good chance you're going to move and you're going to figure out, I don't really like that, or hey, this is people are responding to this, they're not responding to that. It's okay to change. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to be interested in something else. Just build the habit of creating content and learn the platform. Do that first. Hey, RB Homesteader, how you doing? Become a furry. Yeah, that's probably the best one in here. Hey, Pam's Pretty Plants says, I personally click off robot voice videos immediately. I do too, Pam, if they sound like robot voices, but there are some who that they don't sound like robot voices. Some of them, the only reason I even knew they were robot voices is they would say like one word. Like I'd watch a video, halfway through the video, they might say a single word, and I go, wait a minute, that sounded kind of weird. And then I start paying attention, and then I start researching it, and they might, they use some sort of an AI voice. It's going to be paid, right? The better ones are going to be paid for, but some of them are really, really good. A handful. Oh, okay. Next question. I hope that was helpful, Trusty Tiger. Next question is Tap for Charlie. He says, I've been using Power Director for a few years now. I use it to film edits, but I want a better editor as it has crashed many times. Could you help? You're on an Android, of course, if you're using Power Director. So here's the thing with apps and crashing. The first thing you need to do if your app is crashing a lot is I would uninstall it and reinstall it. I know it sounds simple, but believe it or not, that can actually fix things sometimes because something could have went a little funky in the install. Second thing is I've got to ask, where did you download the app? If you're using Power Director, if you're using it without a watermark and you're using the advanced features, it is a paid app. Now, if you downloaded this app from any place other than the Google Play Store, then you have a cracked or a bootleg app, which means you don't have an authorized or real version of the app. A lot of people have problems with apps crashing or the features not working correctly because they're using, they're side-loading APKs, they're downloading them from websites, they've been cracked and that sort of thing, so you can use it for free. So if that's the case and you're using it for free, first of all, it's what you get. Not really. But first of all, that could be causing it, right? It's a cracked app. In order to crack it, something's going to be broken on the inside in order for it to work right. So that could be it. Secondly, you're just going to have to start downloading apps to see what works on your device. Oh, you told me that it was an Android. Your Android might be like 6 years old. All right, it could be 2 years old. It could be the latest Samsung. I don't know. But if your phone is older, if it's on an older operating system, then it could be your phone. The answer could be get a better phone. So I would look at that first. If it's cracked, Bobstar X, how's it going, brother? If it's cracked, you could be having a problem because it's cracked. If it's an older phone or operating system, that could be the problem as well. So if it's not one of those, if it is a newer phone or a strong phone, beefy phone, and you are paying for it, I would reach out to Power Director to help to see, hey guys, help me troubleshoot what the problem is. It could be a conflicting app. It could be something else that we're not even thinking of. Or you can just go download a handful of apps, check out KineMaster. All right, they're on Android. See if that crashes on your device. Sometimes apps just don't play well with certain devices. Magical Nathan says, what is better, Power Director or KineMaster? I'm going to go with KineMaster on that one because I learned how to edit on KineMaster with a phone, so it was more out of habit. I don't use Power Director that much. I use KineMaster because I'm efficient with it, right? With a lot of this stuff, when you start saying which one is better, you're really splitting hairs. Power Director, KineMaster, they basically do the same thing. So I'm going to say whichever one works best for your device, whichever one works best for your budget, and which one makes the most sense for you in terms of how they lay it out. By the way, those of you who are making stuff on your phone, tell me what app you're currently editing with. If you're using KineMaster, LumaFusion, Power Director, Video Leap, iMovie, cut video. Let me know what you guys are editing on. Go ahead and tell me in the chat right now. And Charlie says, by the way, D, I saw your interview with YouTuber's channel. It gave me some great ideas. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I would love to hear what ideas you may have picked up out of that. And dude, and by the way, I'm happy to help brainstorm, right? I'm happy to help brainstorm. Hit me up on Twitter. Twitter's the best place to bounce ideas off of me. I don't go into Facebook that much. I don't go into the Discord DMs very much. I had to like wean off the DMs. It was getting out of control with so many people spamming me. Even though I turned off, I'm like, hey, only friends can DM me. For some reason, I still get people spamming me all the time and just, you know, hey, review my channel. So yeah, dude, reach out to me on Twitter. And if you want me to brainstorm and help you come up with some more ideas, dude, fire away. So we've got here Power Director, KineMaster, Power Director. Wow, so a lot of people just KineMaster and Power Director, Viva Cut on Android. Basically edit with one. I'm still using iMovie, which feels limited. But you're anxious about the learning curve to do something else. So Pam, if you're editing on iMovie and you're anxious about the learning curve to do something else, I would step up to maybe Video Leap. It's kind of similar. It just gives you some more creative control and you can do a lot more cool things with it. So check that out. Stephen V. Tran, how's it going? It says, hey, D, is it possible to build 2 separate channels successfully? Say being a tour guide of your city and the second channel in self-development. Absolutely. I think success on YouTube, it doesn't come down to how many channels you have. It comes down to how many channels can you maintain without losing your mind and without burning out. So if you can continually, consistently make good content for both channels without burning yourself out, right? You know how much you've got to give. You know how much time you have to spend on this. And if you have the time and it's not going to burn you out, then yeah, then make 2 channels. I think you could I know people with multiple channels and they are successful. So, you know, if you've got the time, if you've got the know-how, and, you know, if you're like, hey, I'm not going to burn out, I want to do this. Yeah, knock yourself out. I absolutely think you can be successful with 2 channels. Just make sure that you don't overextend yourself because that's where you'll burn out. Okay, some people are using LumaFusion, VideoMaker, UCut. All right, we got a lot of KineMasters here. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to jump into the next question here. I think I answered that one okay. Next question is from Stunt ADM. Action and stunts. That's a really cool channel concept. It says, can we add end screens and cards on a mobile device? Okay, yes, you can. You can add screens and end screens on a mobile device. However, it is incredibly tricky to do so. Now, I have a video showing you how to get to your end screens. I think I may have called it like how to do an outro on your phone or something like that. I have a video on how to do this. And in order to do that, you have to go into Classic Studio in that video. Now, YouTube is in the process of shutting down Classic Studio and trying to move everybody over to beta. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to access it the way that I do in the video. So what I recommend you doing is using the Chrome browser and put it in desktop mode in the Chrome browser, then going to youtube.com. and then go into your profile picture and then go into either Studio Beta or Classic, whichever one you can go into, and that's going to allow you to go into cards and to go into end screens that way. It's really clunky. There's a lot of pinching and zooming, but you can do it. Tube Techie says, D, they made YouTube Beta work on phones now. Yeah, so I go in through a phone. I go in through Chrome. Are you saying that they've made it mobile responsive? If they've made it mobile responsive in the past couple weeks, I'm going to just get up and dance. So we're going to check this out right now. Let's see here. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to see me dance if it happens. Because before, okay, so I tap on this and nope. My channel, nope. So I can get to YouTube. Settings, your data. Nope, I can't do it. Your channel, go premium page, switch account. Desktop, okay, so hang tight. Weird. So it's actually forcing me over right now. So Tube Techie, I can't do it. He says, it would spin before and not give me anything. It's just easy. So I can't get in there. So I cannot get into, because I just, okay, so this is weird. When I was in the US just a couple of weeks ago, I could access through Chrome very easily on my iPhone, But as I'm doing it right now, now I can't. It's forcing me into the YouTube app. This is so weird. Hold on here. You spent it before. Yeah, so anyway, you can see it's working for some people, not working for others. It's currently not working for me. So yeah, you're gonna have to play with that. It doesn't it's forcing me into it's popping open. It's popping open the YouTube app itself. Just a couple weeks ago, it didn't do that. A few weeks before that, it didn't work at all, and I could use the Puffin browser, the Puffin web browser. It worked flawlessly. Then that stopped. Not because they stopped updating that, but because YouTube just shut it down. Then I could get in through Chrome, and then right now it's the first time I've tried it since I was in the USA, and now it's forcing me into the app. So yeah, that's what we've got with mobile creators, right? It is very aggravating. It may work for you, it may not work for you, and it might work for you today, and it might not work for you tomorrow. But I do know this. I had a conversation with Tom over at YouTube, and from what I understand, they have pulled people off of Classic Studio to work and mobile to work on Studio Beta. And then once they get everything worked out in Studio Beta, they say that they're going to put people back on mobile. So in the near future, hopefully, if that's true, which I believe it to be, that there's going to be a lot of updates coming with the mobile app and inside, hopefully with the browsers as well. So fingers crossed, that's going to work out for us. Axnar Comics says, dang, I thought we were going to see D dance. Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. I boogie. I don't really dance. I boogie. Repost your question. Yeah, I'm not seeing questions in here. Excuse me. So if you do have a question, head down to the description. There's a link down there. Tap on that link, drop your question in that form. And I'm going to shut that form down in just a moment here. I'm gonna take like 3 more questions in the form, then I'm going to shut it down. So if you got, I got 3 more questions in the form. So if you're gonna go right now. All right, next question is Lou Reaction, who says, what do you think the best and easiest ways to promote your YouTube channel? Yeah, the easiest ways. See, here's the thing. There isn't really an easy way. All of this stuff takes work. I think the easiest way is to choose great topics and make great videos. If you make great videos, everything sort of falls into place, right? If you're making videos that people aren't responding to, you're swimming upstream, right? Most people who aren't growing right now either haven't made enough videos to build that momentum yet, or they're choosing topics that not enough people are interested in, or they're just not making videos that people are not interested in because they're not delivering on what they promised for the video, or the thumbnails aren't sticky enough, the titles aren't there, right? There's a handful of things. So in terms of what's the easiest way to get people to look at your YouTube channel, I'm going to say to choose the right topics and to make banging thumbnails, to make really good titles, and make videos that people want to watch. Make great videos, and that's things are going to take care of themselves. Unfortunately, there's not a shortcut. There isn't a you see services offering like, hey, we can amplify your metrics, we can bring you subscribers and real views, and look, all that stuff's garbage. You don't want to buy any of that stuff, right? You don't want to do sub for sub. You don't want to buy subscribers. You don't want to buy views. You want to do this organically through making great content. Collabs are helpful, right? Find channels that are around your same size and do collaborations with them, right? Add value to their channel and let them add value to your channel. Don't reach out to people who are really, insanely larger than you, because they're probably not going to respond, but reach out to people that are around the same size and approach them with a game plan, right? Don't say, hey, do you want to collab, right? Probably not. But if you're like, hey, I've got an idea for a video. My audience is into this. Here's my idea for a video that we could do together. And then tell them what the idea is, right? Just be honest and just say, this is what I think we can do together. This is the value that I can bring to your audience. We can do X, Y, Z, and then present that to them through email, through chat, however it is. But build those relationships up. Build those relationships up. As you build those relationships, as you get to know people, as you get friends with people. I mean, there's people right here in the chat room right now. I'm going to use Dan for example, because Dan's in here, Creator Fundamentals. We've collabed already, and if Dan hit me up at any time and it's like, hey dude, I'm making a video, do you want to be part of it? I've got an idea for XYZ, because that's how Dan would approach it, right? I'm in, count me in, right? Because we've built that relationship over time. You know, when we both started out, we didn't know each other, but, you know, slowly over time, and we got to meet at an event and stuff like that. Like over time, you start to build up that relationship, and then you start to get those online friends and the offline friends, and you start to brainstorm with people and kick ideas around, and then that's when those collabs can really start to happen on a more regular basis. So yeah, work on that. And funny story, when Dan and I did our first collab at Vid Summit last year, 2018, it was like the last day of Vid Summit. It was, I don't know, it's like what, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how long it was, but it was late, and we were just hysterical. We got about halfway through the video, and then we just got the giggles. We finally finished the video, but we were just hysterically laughing throughout the video. It was that was hard to get through. Oh wow, that was hard to get through the video. April G. McKinley says, "What about a topic people don't want to talk about, like HIV/AIDS awareness?" I don't think it's a topic that people don't want to talk about. I think it's something that needs to be. Okay, here's the thing. Certain topics are complicated, right? Like HIV/AIDS awareness, that's a complicated topic. But people want to talk about that, right? People want to talk about that. People might not be searching for that in the numbers that you want them to, or maybe they are, right? Use Google Trends, look at it, see if people are searching for that sort of thing, right? Google Trends. Go to Google, type in Google Trends or trends.google.com, and just type in various keyword phrases or various keywords, and it will show you how people are searching for these things. Is it trending up? Is it trending down? And if it's a difficult conversation, you know, you might not get the growth that you want right out of the gate, or you might. You don't know until you try it. But if it's a hard topic, if it's something that needs to be discussed, I think you need to discuss it if you're passionate about it. If you want to talk about it, if you want to spread awareness, I think it definitely has to be discussed. Now, I don't know monetization-wise, that particular topic. I don't know monetization-wise how that's going to work out for you, because I don't know what brands, but you might find different brands, right? I don't know what brand, like Nike, for example, might not necessarily want to advertise on something like that. Maybe they would, I don't know. But I'm just saying, be aware that if it's topics that could be considered controversial, you might have some monetization issues. Maybe, not necessarily, just maybe. Ghost Dog says, "You activated my Google Assistant on my phone." There you go. Yeah, no problem, April. It's just one of those things that you need to try it, right? You just need to try it and try it again, and just come up with a content strategy. Think about all the things within that, right? All the things that about that awareness, and then say, okay, well, if somebody's just getting started looking for this particular awareness, where do I start, right? What's step one? And then make that video step one, and then lead them to the next video, which is step two. Lead them to the next video. Like, think of building your videos in a series that are going to help people. So if they find you on that first video or any of the videos, you lead them through a series of videos talking about awareness. Yeah, pharmaceutical companies, Tim, they would, right, if pharmaceutical companies are advertising on YouTube, which they probably are in certain markets. See, I'm in Thailand, so I don't get to see all the ads that you guys are getting in the Western world. I get ridiculous ads over here, but none of them are pharmaceutical stuff. I'm going to guess that in the US, you guys might be getting hammered with that stuff. But just lead them through, lead them through an entire experience, lead them through an entire playlist, build a playlist out of it. And you'll know, right? Make a content strategy and just make the videos. You'll find out over time what's working and what's not working. Okay, I'm going to be right back in a moment. I need to swap a battery out. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to be like 1 minute, probably even less, and I will be right back. I'm just going to let this ride. I'm going to let this ride for a minute. Here we go. Hang with me here. Hang on. I like this. I like this. I like where this is going. Here we go. Here we go. Let it drop. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. That was good. I like that. That's the thing about going live. I love that, right? You just can't plan that stuff. You just gotta let it go. I love it. Feeling the groove, a little funk break. All right, so Dan, where's he at? I saw something. Yeah, so Dan says, Uncle Dan says, hey, I didn't think anyone wanted to talk about bipolar disorder in a comedic way, but I did it anyways, and you can too. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Doug says the best live stream music on YouTube. I love it, man. I love it. We can just, oh man, we just, I would love, legit, like I would love to do just like a live stream. And I'm not going to talk about mobile stuff. Like I would love to have a channel where all I did was just came on and just played music for you guys. I would absolutely like that would be my night, right? I'm not going to answer questions. I'm not going to pull up channels. I would just love to come in and just play music for hours, right? This DJ. That would be great. Would anybody watch me? Would you guys come and hang out with me if we just played music together? Who would say yes or say no if you're not interested in that, or if you are? Hey, traveling down the Panthers. How you doing? Yeah, I would love to just hang out and play music. I would love it. I would probably do that a couple times a week if I knew enough people would come and just hang out and vibe with me. Yeah, that would be awesome. Wow, I'm surprised. You guys would be like, yes, 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 hell yes. Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding, XNR Comics. I would love to do that. Here's the thing, guys. I love YouTube. This is fun. I love helping you guys. I love sharing information. I love hanging out with you guys in the live streams and stuff like that. But look, I like to have fun too, right? This is fun. That's why I add music. That's why I want to have a good time. I want to hang out. My videos are, I keep them kind of loose. I don't get too serious, but I like to enjoy myself. I want to have fun with this. If I'm not having a good time, why do it, right? I don't want to be like, oh, time to make the donuts. Right? Oh, I got to make videos. No way, man. I want to be excited when I come in. I want to be fired up to come in and whatever. Boogie, whatever. All right. Let's see. Next question here. Motivation theory. John, not sure if you're still in the chat or not. Is it true your little known brother Dan is trying to take over the Nimminati? Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm going to turn off the responses. Here's the thing. Dan is the newest member of the Nimmins to actually get out and get onto YouTube. Some of you might see Dan's channel, Dan Nimmin. He's out there, right? So you've got Nick Nimmin, you got D Nimmin, and now you have Dan Nimmin. So Dan's out there doing his thing. Nick and I are both very proud of him, and he's growing really fast. He's actually probably going to outpace both of us within the next 12 months or something like that. So, hashtag Dan Nimmin. He's up and comer. He's up and comer. Yeah, we have a whole. Mom had a litter of us, right? A bunch of us. It took Dan long enough. All right. Next question. Road to AGPCNP. I wanted to start my channel since starting grad school last January, and I'm about to finish next month. Congratulations. I've already made a list of things and topics I want to tackle. Is there any way of knowing what to start with, or should I just pick a topic and start? Should I start with a so-called intro to me video? Okay, that's actually a great question. So you've got all these ideas swimming in your head, and let me know if you're still in the chat right now. This was Road to AGPCNP. If you're still in the chat right now, speak up. So you've got all these ideas swimming in your head right now. There you are. Right? Ideas swimming. You got all these, I want to make videos about this. I want to make videos about this. I'm passionate about this topic. I wouldn't make any video saying, ta-da, I'm on YouTube. First of all, nobody's going to see it, right? This is your first video. Nobody is going to see this video. What you want to do is, you're starting at 0 and everybody starts at 0. So I would pick whichever one of those topics that are swimming around in your head, pick the one you're most passionate about, pick the one you're most knowledgeable about, and then sit down and try to make a 10 or 15 or even video, or 10, 15, or 20 videos, think about the strategic part of it. So, okay, I'm going to make these videos. I'm going to make video number 1, and it's going to be about this. It's going to be an intro to, not the channel, hey, I'm this and I'm into this topic. Like, just if I follow your, let's say model truck building. No, that's a terrible thing. Let's talk about iPhones, right? So you're going to have a channel about iPhones. You don't know yet who's going to be following your channel and what level they are to iPhone. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to figure out who your audience is. You're going to have to think about, okay, these are the videos that I want to make. These are the topics that I want to make videos about. Who will my audience be, right? I want to make videos about iPhones because I love iPhones. I'm passionate about iPhones. I'm knowledgeable about iPhones. Who are my customers? Who are my viewers, right? Who are my viewers? What would they want? What would those viewers, what would that audience want? You know, where do they live? What language do they speak? What iPhones do they have? What operating systems do they have, right? Start thinking about that and then start making videos for them based on your knowledge, based on your passion. Make videos for that audience, whoever you think they are. And then make that first video, video number 1. Maybe your first video, if you have an iPhone channel, is unboxing your first iPhone. Congratulations, you just bought your first iPhone. Now what, right? Or which iPhone should you buy, right? Step number 1, right? You got to make that entry video, right? If that's applicable for your topics, and then make that second video, right? Now you've got an iPhone. How should you set up your iPhone, right? Setting up your iPhone. 10 things you need to do to set up your first iPhone, right? Then maybe you want to say, you know, here's 5 apps that you need for your iPhone. Here's how to use the camera in your iPhone, right? Here's how to edit a video in your iPhone. Here's how to use the Google Calendar in your iPhone. Here's how to use the productivity apps in your iPhone. Here's how to save battery on your iPhone. Here's how to transfer footage from your iPhone to your computer, right? But it all starts at that beginning video, right? That entry-level video, just kind of an introduction to the topic, not an introduction to you, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Hold on here. Hey, Natal Bishop says, just want you to know I really love your channel. Thank you so much. Right. Top 5 apps all iPhone users must have for the title. Yes. Hinch Herbivore. How's it going, brother? How you doing? I've been seeing you getting ripped on Instagram, man. You've really leaned down. What's the haps? Loving it. So yeah, so just pick one of those topics and then really strategically think it through, the first 10, 15, 20 videos, and think where, if I'm introducing somebody to this topic, where would I start, right? If I don't know anything about that topic and you sit down in front of me and I'm like, hey, tell me what you're into, right? You wouldn't just jump into the most advanced thing that you have about it. It's going to go right over my head, right? You would kind of baby step me into what it is that you're doing. This is how I would approach it, right? Somebody else might tell you to approach it differently. This is how I would do it. I would start at the beginning and I would baby step people into the topic. Now, if you're doing something advanced, right? Maybe you're doing something about, I don't know, surgery or something. You're dealing with people who already know what they're talking about. You're not going to be baby stepping people into surgery, right? So you got to think about, again, who's your audience, and then build those videos, create those videos for that audience based on who you think they are. For me, right, I'm going to baby step people into the content that I want them to see. Oh, you're a new mobile creator. Cool. Let me just first of all tell you that you can make content on your phone. Just let me empower you a little bit, right? Then let me make another video and shows you that you can make a thumbnail with your phone, a basic thumbnail, nothing too complicated. Let me tell you some apps that you need for video editing on your, right? You see what I'm saying? Walk them through that. It's a process. So just pick one, be strategic about it, think 10, 15 videos, and then just start making them. Dr. Stan, how's it going, brother? Hope you are doing well. Man, did I change the meme of the week? So those of you who may or may not know, Dr. Stan delivers the majority of the memes of the week. And I'm just going to hit this button, and I don't know if I've loaded this or not. Fingers crossed. Deflated. I don't know if that was the last one or not. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, that's what I look like after, yeah, that's, I've lost a little weight. Oh, thank you, Dr. Stan. That was, yeah, you'll never unsee that. Never, ever, ever. So Road to AGPCNP says, I definitely feel empowered by your videos because I'm broke and I don't have the money for fancy stuff. Okay, right on. Like, just, whatever that topic is, man, pick it, be strategic about it, and just start breaking it down from the beginning. Explain it to somebody who might be coming into it for the first time, if that's who your audience is. It starts with knowing who your audience is. I can't stress that enough. If you don't know who you're making videos for, it's going to be harder to get people to resonate. Now, the other side of that is, hey, I just want to make videos that I want to make, right? I just want to make the videos that I want to make. Like, if that's you, say yes right now in the chat. If you just want to make the videos that you want to make and you don't care about anybody else, you're like, hey, this is just what I want to make. And there's nothing wrong with that. Say yes right now. I'm curious who's making videos just for them. Dan, I need to take a break from the end. Oh, Dan, they get bad, man. They get really bad. They get really bad. Susie says, yes, D, you talk to the audience from beginner to advanced, and it's easy to understand. Thank you, Susie. That's the goal. I want people to understand. I never thought in a million years I would be a teacher. I hated school. I barely made it out of school, not because I was stupid, because I didn't want to be there. My God, I wanted to be anywhere else but school, right? And then I got out of school and I went to music school, but different kinds of school. I wanted to be in music school. I didn't want to be in, sitting in class learning about algebra, right? I want to make stuff. I want to do things. So, all right. So we have a handful of people in here who's like, yeah, I want to make the videos you want to make. So look, that's cool. You make whatever it is you want to make. There is no right or wrong here. There's no right or wrong to YouTube. There's no right or wrong to making content. The only thing you have to be mindful of is if you're making videos that you want to make and you don't care about who your audience is, then just know that you might not grow as fast as somebody who knows who their audience is and makes videos both for themselves and the audience. I know Sarah Dishi has a policy where I forget what the number is, but maybe like 2 videos for the audience and 1 video for her. 2 videos for the audience, 1 video for her. That keeps her creative. She makes a video she wants to make, and then she makes 2 videos that she knows the audience is going to like. So you got to find out what that balance is. Joe says, wish I was still in school, right? So here's the funny thing. I'm curious who is still in, let's say high school. Who's still in high school? I know there's some younger viewers who come in here. If you're still in high school, type in yes if you're still in high school. Okay, so A2R Plays Gaming says me. Adia and RS says I'm in high school. So, okay, so some people are, okay, this is fun. So when I was in high school, and those of you who were, Christina. Yes, Christina, yes. Go on, Christina, go on. Okay, so I remember being in school thinking that, and by the way, if you're way out of high school, you're going to relate to me here. When I was in high school, I was thinking, like, I wanted to be anywhere but high school. Like, I would just sit there and I would daydream about playing music, or I can't wait to get out of school so I can skateboard, or I mean, just whatever. Like, I wanted to be anywhere other than school. And I just thought it was the worst thing ever. I think, oh, this is so hard. It was just, you're just sucking up all my time. It's just, But now as an adult, and I look back at school, I think to myself, that was literally the easiest time of my life. Like, life was never easier than those moments of my life. So when I was sitting in school going, oh, this sucks, I can't wait to get out of here. Life could not have been any easier than those particular times in school. And I know when you're in it, you're like, oh, this is terrible. But like, as an adult looking back, holy cow, was that like the easiest? Man, right? That was so... You guys know what I'm talking about? Those of you who, the adults in the chat right now, you know what I'm talking about? Can we get an amen for those of you who are well out of school looking back saying how easy that was? Oh. Eric says, I graduated school in '84. Hey, man, I'm doing good. I mean, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. Adithian. Is that how you pronounce your name? Adithian RS? Apologies if I can't pronounce that correctly. Can we get some amens? There you go. There we go. Paul Peck drywall tube. Oh, hot dog gamer, amen. Creator fundamentals, amen. Oh man, I hated school. I would daydream. So I don't know how school is outside of the U.S., but I know inside the U.S. we were allowed. So you have to get a certain amount of credits. And if those of you in India or wherever, I don't know how this works there, but in the U.S. when I went to school, you had to have a certain amount of credits to graduate. So I had my credits early, right? I actually did okay in school for them early on, so I had enough credits. I did all the minimum amount. And then like my last year, because I had the credits, but I had to be there, like I literally, because I was able to, I was just like study hall, jazz band, jazz ensemble, study hall. Like half of my day was literally just wasted. And I would just sit there and I would just like doodle and like, look at skateboarding magazines. And I completely wasted my last year in school. In hindsight, because we could have learned Spanish, German, French, or Latin in school, right? We had those language options. In hindsight, I should have learned a foreign language. Like I should have just all in on foreign languages. I regret not doing that. Other than that, yeah, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And looking back, it was like super easy. Like once real life starts and you have bills to pay, oh my God. Living History with Alive says you have graduated in 87. Okay. I got a half day my senior year. It was awesome. Only had to go for 4 periods. I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay. How far in the future? Okay, we got future people in here. How's your tie? My tie is good enough to survive here. Hey, Travis MCP, how you doing, man? Are you using the Streamlabs chat to check D? Yeah, I'm using the Streamlabs chat. And if it's not working for you, you need to go back into the properties and do the cache refresh. We had to do that on Saturday night for Nimmin Live. It wasn't working otherwise. If you're talking about that whole chat thing not showing up, that's what it was. All right, I'm going to go on to the next question here because we're just going to get way off track. We always get way off track. That's just what we do here. We're just going to call this Way Off Track. I'm going to rename the show Way Off Track. So Florida Redneck Fishing says, how do I grab a picture from a video for thumbnails? How do I grab a picture from a video for thumbnails? You're using an Android. Okay, so what you can do is you can use, I don't know what app you're editing on your Android, but you can, oh no, you sent a super chat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Travis. So Streamlabs is currently, it's random if I see the super chat come up with a sticker. So if somebody's adding a sticker, like I'm not seeing those. And it seems to be, because I'm even looking at this on a tablet over here, and it seems to be random there too. So if you send a super chat, first of all, let me, give me 1 second here, guys. I want to make sure I haven't been missing super chats. I'm going to feel like a real, let's see. I don't know what's come through, but I'm just going to do this anyway, in case you sent it, because I don't see it coming through here. What did you call it, Dan? The off-track live show. Yeah, right. Off the rails. That's what I'm going to call it. Off the rails. That should be my podcast. Actually, I'm going to write that down. Off the rails. I'm going to use that, like off track or off the rails. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any super chats coming through. This is weird. But this happened on Nimmin Live too. It was like some of them came through, some of them didn't come through. You missed like 3. Yeah, I know it's happening last Saturday for us. Man, I'm not seeing anything. I think I saw just 2 super chats come in earlier, but like nothing has come in since. So if you guys have sent a super chat and I didn't acknowledge it, I do apologize. I'm not seeing them right now. So my apologies if anything has come in. What was I talking about here? I was talking off the rails, off the tracks. Oh, how do I grab a picture for video for thumbnail? So whatever video app you're using, let's say you're using Power Director or using KineMaster or even whatever app you're using, look to see if they have well, I know KineMaster and Power Director do. They have a screen print option or a capture version to where you can scrub along the timeline, find the right frame that you want, and you can take a picture of that inside of, let's say, KineMaster or Power Director, and it will save that out at whatever the resolution is of your video. Then you can go into your gallery, you can open that up, and then you can build a thumbnail. You can open it up inside of PixArt or a Pixel Lab or Snapseed or whatever it is you want to go use from there. So did Travis just drop what? Joe, did you see one that Travis dropped? Yeah, man, I'm not seeing anything. Man, my apologies, guys. Yeah, I'm looking through here. It's not showing anything. Hopefully Streamlabs is going to do an update, and that's going to be handled. Yeah, my apologies. All right, next question here. From Axnar Comics, he says, not really a question. I just wanted to thank you for all you do. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I started recently being more mobile, and it feels like I'm having to learn everything from scratch again. So I thank you for all that you do. Hey, man, I'm glad you're finding value from what it is that you're making. I spent like 20 years editing on a desktop computer, right? Video camera, like I have, you wouldn't believe my arsenal of actual like old school video cameras. So I've got all these video cameras from tapes, and I've got all that stuff. But like, 20 years of that stuff. And then once I started making the transition into mobile, and I really started falling in love with mobile, don't get me wrong, I still use that stuff for a lot of things. Like, I believe in using the right tool for the job. So if I'm in the studio, a lot of people say, hey, what did you edit that with? What did you shoot with? If I'm in the studio, I have access to all of this stuff. I'm going to use it. It makes sense. It's more efficient. If I'm out and about, if I'm traveling, I'm going to be on my phone, I'm going to be on my iPad or something like that. So use whatever tools that you want. There's no right or wrong. But it was a huge it was quite the journey to unlearn basically how to use, and anybody who grew up editing on a computer. I know, Travis, you're on iPad now exclusively and that sort of thing too. But like, once you go, if you spend so many years on a computer, then you got to move over to an iPad or move over to a phone. Like, there's quite a learning curve. But once you do that, man, it just makes so much sense, especially with an iPad. I editing on an iPad, it just makes so much sense. Man, it's so much sense. And I'm just looking forward to see where that goes in the future. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better, especially with iOS 13. I mean, it's just, man, it's amazing. Just amazing. Right? Yeah, Travis says, I love editing on my iPad Pro. It just feels good. It's intuitive. It feels right. Like, everything's just like the right size. You move, it just feels so good, man. It feels right. And I love with iOS 13 how you can now move the files around better. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's getting there, right? It's really getting there. Absent Rule says, I was thinking about switching to iPad Pro and using LumaFusion. You're not going to go wrong. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? You got to wrap your head around LumaFusion and how all that works. File structure isn't ideal. It's not bad, but it's not ideal. Hey, Daisy Neweb. Okay, Daisy. I got you, Daisy. Okay, so next question here. Where did this come from? Cosmic W. Is it a good idea to change your past thumbnails with new ones so it can look better and maybe have a vibe as your newer ones? No. Okay. What you need to do is you need to go through your old thumbnails. Like, you're like, hey, I'm thinking about changing this thumbnail. Go through and look at your click-through rate. Look at the click-through rate and look at your impressions, right? If that video is on fire, first of all, if you guys have anything that's on fire, don't touch it, right? Don't touch it, right? Let the fire burn. Let it burn, right? But if you have something that's dead and it's like the views have teetered out or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I just want to change the thumbnail, go in and look at the CTR, right? Look at it. And if it's a poor CTR, change it out. But I wouldn't change anything just to make stuff match, right? Only change it if the actual thumbnail is not performing. I have thumbnails on my channel that don't look like anything like the other thumbnails, and that's fine. You can do that. But I don't change them because they have a high CTR. They perform, and I don't want to touch them. Now, yeah, I might be able to get a better CTR if I upgrade them, but it's like, that's working really well. And when something's on fire, something's doing well, and it just continues to perform, my personal thing, I leave it alone. I let it burn until the fire burns out. Yes, thank you, Eric. Your CTR is your click-through rate. I know Travis is, I think I've read that you're on top of like changing the thumbnails, like that real-time CTR when it comes out. Like, there's so many ways to attack this stuff, right? Like, how much do you want to be on top of it? How much do you want to get in front of what's going on? Like, as your video gets released and you've got access to, a computer, you can watch your real-time CTR as it comes out, and you're like, oh, this is tanking. This isn't going to work. And you can start changing your thumbnails right out of the gate, and you can really stay on top of this stuff. But in terms of Tim, FTC, forget the creators. In terms of just changing thumbnails so it matches your current brand, I wouldn't touch them if they're performing. If they're not performing, yeah, knock yourself out. Good morning, Andrew Can. Hey, Javier, how you doing, man? Love the hat, D. How you doing, Javier? I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. Nice to see you in here, my friend. And those, I just want to say this, Javier, and you know what, Javier, because I want to draw attention to you. Where did you go? I'm going to mod you. Javier, you don't actually have to mod, but I'm going to make you blue just so people can see your name. This dude is probably, not probably, he's one of the most underrated, talented dudes on the platform right now. This guy, amazing video work, amazing with his podcast. Just an amazing creator all the way around. So, yeah, click on his name and go check out his channel, Javier Mercedes. Super talented dude. He does video tech tutorials. He's got a great podcast and all around just nice dude. Much love, man. All right, next question comes from, where's it at? Haseen. Okay, hey, dude, remember me? Okay, I already answered that one. Next question. Haseen, yep, man, you only got to ask the question once, my man. You don't have to. That's 4 times. Okay, this one comes from Raid, who says, how can I move text in Power Director on the phone, like make it move? Okay, that's something that I'm going to have to do in a tutorial. That's not something I can actually walk you through here live. So I will add that to my list of videos to look into to see if that's something that enough people are searching for. And if it is, I'll make a video about it. That's one way I come up with video ideas. People say, hey, how do I do this? And then I go through the process of seeing if enough people are interested in that topic. And if they are, then I'll make videos about it. What's up, everybody? Great to see you, Paul Peg Drywall. Andrew says, FYI, no channel reviews today. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Next question comes from Raid again. And that's the same question. Okay. Double. Okay. Lou Reaction says, what do you think makes an interesting reaction video? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. We're going to crowdsource this. He asks, Lou Reaction says, what do we think makes an interesting reaction video? So I would love for everyone to chime in. And if you're into reaction videos, I know that that's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you watch reaction videos, what makes it interesting for you? What makes a reaction video interesting for me is to give a legit reaction. Like sometimes I see reaction video, and I'm not big into reaction videos, but sometimes I see them and they just seem forced. They don't seem genuine. They just seem, okay, they're just like going way over the top. This is ridiculous, right? Like I want to see like, don't get me wrong, I never look for this sort of thing, but every now and then I do come across them. And I just want to see you being realistic. Like if it sucks, show me that. If it's great, show me how you would react. Now, I know it might not get the views if you have a boring thumbnail with this, with an look. All right, that's up to you. But I'm not big in reaction videos. But if you are, what makes a good reaction video? I think for me, it's just being authentic. Just give me an authentic reaction. Yeah, okay, so Pam's Pretty Plant says the same thing. Reaction videos for me need to be authentic. Yep, there's that word again. And also maybe offer some information like Brian Mondo's Hair Dye video reactions. Javier says, the best investment in your YouTube channel in the last year. Best investment in my YouTube channel, it's always going to be going to events like Vid Summit. For me, the networking, that FaceTime, reconnecting with people, talking to brands that I work with this year, speaking, right? Like going to Vid Summit this year was that was probably the best investment. This is my first time on stage. I get to reconnect with some people that I hadn't talked to in a while. I get to meet a bunch of new creators, talk to some of the brands that I work with, got a couple of new deals from other brands that were there for some sponsored videos. So yeah, hands down this year for the past 12 months, going to Vid Summit, best investment for my YouTube channel last year. What about you, Javier? What was your best investment for your YouTube channel in the past 12 months? I would love to see what you have to say about that. Hey, Bob on the block, how's it going? All right, next question comes from A2R Plays Gaming, who says, are Shotcut and Lightworks good? Also, can you tell me a good record app for phone? Do you mean iPhone? For phone or iPhone? Okay, so I don't know Lightworks and I don't know Shotcut. I don't know those two apps. I haven't played with them. I haven't downloaded them and put them in. And I don't know, you said phone, a good recording app. So I'm going to go with Mobizen. Mobizen is a good screen recorder app if that's what you're looking for. And a lot of people say, hey, yeah, but it has a watermark. What you have to do if you're using Mobizen, they allow you to remove the watermark for free. But instead of saying turn off watermark, it's kind of weird. You have to put it in, what's it called? I think it's called clean mode. It's either clean mode or clean recording. It's an additional setting that they have, and you tap on clean mode. It's either clean mode or clean recording, and it will remove the watermark. But if you just go tap on remove watermark, they want you to pay. So it's kind of a weird workaround, but they let you do that. AZ screen recorder is also pretty good, has seen plays. I agree. I made a video on that. I think it's pretty good. If Mobizen does not work for your device, check out AZ screen recorder. Andrew Can says, my best investment was my friendships on YouTube. Focused on them and getting to know the people. I had a problem with a million arms to hold me, but I didn't reach for any of them. Yeah, man. The friendships, the people you meet, the networking, the community that you get involved in when you actually get to know people and the friendships that you make. This is a topic that could go on like this. It's a deep topic. I would say that the friendships that I'm making since I've started creating on YouTube have been some of the best friendships that I've made in a really long time. Really good stuff. Daniel Battelle says, speaking of friendships, hey Andrew and D, who let you out, Daniel? You finally break through that wall. Oh. But yeah, it's just, getting to meet these people and everybody's kind of on the same page. It doesn't matter where we come from in different parts of the world. It doesn't matter what jobs, if somebody works an additional job or what our channel's about. It's like you get together and it's just like there's that common thread. And it's just, oh man, it feels so good. It feels right. Right? When you get around all these other creators, and those of you who are not going to events, I know some people can't go to events because you're in different parts of the world or maybe your budget doesn't allow for it. But I can tell you that if you go to the right events, especially like, Vid Summit and stuff like that, I know this is going to sound corny, but it almost sounds like, going home in a way. Salma, how you doing? Speaking of friendships, well, the gang's all here. Everybody's coming in. Bob on the block, how long is it going to be? Not too long. I have things that I have to do. Javier says, Vid Summit changed the trajectory of my career in so many ways the first time that I went. Also, I met you that first year. Yeah, that was great, man. But payoff for that kind of thing doesn't present itself until months afterward. Yeah, sometimes many months, sometimes years. But it's like you get that opportunity, but like, it's like that little spark is created, and then it's up to us to fan that spark, right? To turn that spark into a flame. Right? But we get that spark. Every time I go to that Vid Summit, for me, man, that's like a pilgrimage. I'm going to go there. Like if I don't go to any other events all year, like I'm going to Vid Summit. That's all there is to it. I'm going to Vid Summit. If, I have to go with crutches or in a wheelchair or whatever, I will go to Vid Summit every single year for as long as I'm doing this, because it's like it recharges my battery when I go there. Myra Madness says, where is Vid Summit? Vid Summit is October. You just missed it. It is in Los Angeles, California. All right, next question. I'm going to go through a couple more of these here in the form. This one is, let's see here. Axnar Comics says, just starting going more mobile, watching your stuff. I got a lot to learn. Once again, wanted to say thank you. Okay, man. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching the videos. I'm glad you are finding value in them. Next question comes from Lemon Cream. How do I get views with minimum subs? All right, so here's the thing. Your subscribers are not going to equal views, right? I'm going to say that again. Your subscribers do not equal views. For example, if you go to look at my channel right now, I have almost 60,000 subscribers. But if you look at my views, yeah, I mean, some of the videos did really well, but my average video does not have 60,000 views, right? You're not going to get an equal amount of views to subscribers. So if you get views, you focus on the right topics, you focus on great titles, either titles that are going to do well in search or titles that are going to do well being suggested, or compelling titles. You make thumbnails that are hot, sticky, hot, engaging, good-looking thumbnails that are going to get tapped on. They're going to get the click, because that is the job of the thumbnail, right? People are scrolling. People are looking around the page. You want to have the thumbnail where people go, yep, and they touch that one, right? So if you want the views, that's the stuff you got to focus on. Know your audience, choose the right topics, make great titles, make great thumbnails, and then, believe it or not, after you get all of that stuff, you got to back it up by having a great video. You got to deliver, right? You got to come through. Somebody says, yeah, that's a great looking thumbnail. It's a great looking topic. I'm interested in that. They tap on it. And then if you blow it with your video, then it's all for nothing, right? So you've got to build the skill of learning how to create a great video in addition to all those other things that you have to do. I know it sounds like a lot, and it can sound overwhelming. It is overwhelming if you look at it that way, but we all start at the same place. Every single person in here, every single person, Daniel, Javier, Salma, who else is in here? Christina, Absolute Rule, everybody that's in here posting right now, everybody starts at the same place. We have to learn how to craft those titles. We have to learn who is our audience, right? Who is my audience? What are they looking for? How can I make content to reach that audience, right? You're here, they're there. How do I build this bridge, right? We've all had to go through that. And the more you do it, the more you pay attention to it, the better you're going to get at it. And the better you get at it, that's where you're going to start building that momentum, because you do start to make that connection with your audience. It takes a while. Skills you got to learn, right? It's a slow process. It's learning something new, right? You don't just pick up a book, flip through the pages, and say, oh, I speak Spanish now, right? You're not jacked in like Neo, right? You're not jacked into the Matrix. Whoa, I know Kung Fu, right? It doesn't work that way, right? Through repetition, through studying, through paying attention, through failing, right? We've all failed videos. Everybody in here makes videos and they completely tank. But you make the next one, you learn from it. Hold on. Paul Peck Drywall just hit 70,000. Man, I thought you were like 100,000. Paul, weren't you at 100,000? Am I wrong? You're moving too fast for me, man. Daniel says, speak for yourself. I have a USB port hidden beneath my hairline. You probably do. There's probably a reason why you have all that hair. Yeah, Christina says, I have several tanked videos and I like those. Look, man, we all have videos on our channels that don't do well. But the more you learn who your audience is, you pick the right topics, your right titles, your thumbnails. And I know it sounds like, oh, okay, easier said than done. And it is, because you have to learn how to do it. You got to build those skills, man. It's a process. You got to go through it. Every single one of us have to go through it. So don't think minimum subs. Think, how can I connect with an audience, right? How can I connect with my audience? How can I connect with viewers? How can I connect to real people? Because those numbers, right? Those viewers, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the 10,000s, the 100,000s, those are human beings. Every single one of those people, well, they should be human beings. Most of them are human beings. They're people, right? The better you get at reaching those people, and just think about reaching that one person, right? How can I just connect to that one person? I swear, if you can learn how to connect one person at a time, and you've got great titles and topics and thumbnails, man, you're going to get there. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And that was a long drive. I do that. That's what I do. All right. Next question from Haseen Plays. I don't know why, but I'm growing incredibly slow. Everything that I just said, that whole long-winded thing that I just said, that's probably why you're growing incredibly slow. Tell me some tips, please. And if my English is broken, sorry, as I told you, I'm from Pakistan. And please, you better give more than 10 tips. That's getting kind of demanding, don't you think? You better give more than 10 tips. Yeah, I can make a video. Haseen, the top 10, here's the top 10 reasons why you're not growing. Number one, you're too demanding. Number two, your expectations are too high. All the rest is just all the things that I just said. All right, next question from T&A Treasures, risky click of the day. Says, I have an Android Samsung Galaxy 8, and when I shoot a video at 1 minute and 30 seconds, it just stops, and I have to restart it. How can I fix it? Okay, so you didn't tell me if you are using an app, right? Are you using an app? If so, which app are you using? It could be that you're using a cracked version of the app. It could be that your phone storage is completely full. So go into your settings, check your phone storage, make sure you have several gigabytes left, right? It could be that you need to update your operating system. If you're using the native camera that comes with the phone and it's crashing, download an app like download Open Camera. Open Camera works well for Samsung devices. Put it in there, run everything on auto, and see if you can record more that way. But first, check your storage and make sure you're downloading your Android apps from the Google Play Store. This is very important. A lot of people are downloading their Android apps from APK websites. They're sideloading their apps, and they're getting bootleg and cracked apps, and they don't work properly. They crash. I don't know where you're getting your apps, but you want to make sure that you're downloading them from the right place. And to check your storage. A lot of people they don't realize they've shot a ton of video, they've taken a ton of photos, especially on older phones that don't have a lot of storage and they're full. Now, there's something else that Samsung does, especially the older ones. And I think the new ones probably do that too. So they have internal storage in a phone, which usually isn't very big, and they have external storage where you put a little SD card in there. You want to make sure that your app is saving to the, well, whichever one has the most storage, which is usually your SD card. So it could be saving to the actual phone itself, and it's just full. So you're going to go through your settings, and easier said than done, you got to dig around and make sure you're saving to the SD card. That usually takes care of that. Javier says, is there a good option for Bluetooth mics for mobile devices? For example, I'm walking around in the event. I want to interview you in the lobby with handheld mics sending audio directly to the phone. Okay, Javier, so Rode makes the wireless Go microphones. Everything is wireless, and I don't have them yet. I'm going to pick them up, but I believe you can pick up I believe you can hook external microphones for them. So you could use the little wireless Go, put them on your hip or whatever, and connect. You'll want a dynamic microphone, right? You know this because the dynamic microphone is going to eliminate a lot of the background noise from what's going on around you. Andrew from TubeBuddy, who's in here. Andrew, you used to bring, I know at VidCon, you had some great microphones that you brought in from TubeBuddy that we all passed around during the TubeBuddy stream. I'm not sure what brands those were, but those were pretty good. So Javier, yeah, so maybe with the wireless Go and then with some handheld dynamic microphones, that might do it. I can look into that for you. I'm trying to get my hands on some. We have them here in Thailand, but they're ridiculously expensive because of the import tax. So I'm trying to get a pair sent to me. If I can try to figure out something and send that to you. That's actually a good video idea, like how to get how to use your phone in a Bluetooth or wireless microphones. It's not a lapel mic, so I will look into that. I don't have a cut and dry answer. That motion wasn't a good representation of using a microphone. Just saying. Oh, okay, man. Right on. So yeah, Javier, I'll look into that. If I come up with something that's really good, I'll let you know. But I would say a handheld microphone, probably with the wireless Go. I know you can connect extra lapel mics up to those. I'm just not sure if you can hook up like an XLR microphone. I'm not sure just yet, but you might be able to do that with like an iRig or something like that. Pauline Newman, how's it going? Hey, Nick Nimmin, how you doing? Are you with Dan? Nimminati's in full effect. All right, let me get the last question here. Okay, that was the last question. How about that? Okay, thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you all for all the questions. We had some great questions in here. Some great people showed up. Thank you for all the fun. We had a great time in the chat tonight. If you guys had a good time, just leave a like on your way out. And whoever gave me like 2 thumbs down before the stream even started, thank you for the engagement. I appreciate that a whole lot. High five, fist bump. Nick came in at the end like Indiana Jones, sliding right under the collapsing door there. Yeah, this is the end. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I will see you next Saturday on Nimmin Live on Nick's channel, who's in the chat right now. And I'll see you next Sunday. We'll go back to our normal time next Sunday. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And I will see you guys next weekend. Have an awesome week. And I'll see you guys then. And that just didn't work. How hilarious is that? So I have this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. How weird.